So we continue our Easter celebration, our Easter season. We celebrate the victory of Jesus over the powers of sin and death, that the Lord came to be to our ransom from death. He paid the price for our salvation by shedding his blood on the cross. And so we came out with peace, our reconciliation with the Father. Nice celebration, a great celebration of the church during this Easter season. We know that the Lord came among us to preach the word. He came to bring healing to his people, deliverance from evil. But also we can today look at the Lord that he came in the way, as he says today, that I am the way to the Father. So he came to show us the way back to the kingdom. He says, I've now gone ahead of you to prepare a place for you, so that where I am, namely in heaven, I long for you to be. Thomas says, Lord, how do we get to this place? Heaven. Jesus says, I am the way. Follow after me. So in a way, Jesus is a human GPS. We follow him, and we finally get home to our destination. So we have to look at Jesus and say, well, what is the way? He says, I am the way. Well, what is the way? So we look at the life of Jesus, and he says, I am the way. We'll look at his life to understand what the way is. And as we look at his life, we know that in his life, when he was here, he spent much time with his Father. So one of the aspects of the way is to spend time with God, to have this relationship with God. I always say if someone came up to you in the street with a microphone and said, excuse me, what's the purpose of your existence? Like, why do you exist? Well, we would say as Christians to be friends with God. You know the old ultimate catechism, who made you? God made me. Why did he make you? To know him, love him, and serve him in this world, to be happy with him in the next. So one of the aspects of the way is to have this intimate relationship with God. So again, I was created for this relationship, to attend to this relationship with God. Then the other aspect we find in Jesus' life, he always said, I'm here to do my Father's will. I didn't come to do my will, I came to do my Father's will. So one aspect of the way to the kingdom is for us to say, am I about doing the will of God in my life? Simply today, how does God want to use us to do his work? We're all in different places, different circumstances. But again, when you get out of bed in the morning, we all have our calendar saying, this is what I'm supposed to do today. This is on my schedule. Well, that's our game plan. But now there's a bigger game plan to say, what might God do with me today? How is going to use me today? The people that I meet today, the circumstances of my life today, how can I truly be the Lord's disciple and be his instrument to continue his work of bringing his life and love and peace to those around me? So for me to be about the work of the Father. Again, the Our Father that Jesus taught us, he said, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, not my will, but his will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Then the other aspect of the way that Jesus taught was to love. Again, when he was at the Last Supper, he washed his disciples' feet. He said, I'm your master and Lord. If I did this activity of serving your needs, then this is the way to live. Serve the needs of the other. No greater love can one have than to lay down your life for your friend. And so the Lord on the cross, he showed us what love is, dying to self to serve the needs of the other. So Jesus says, I am the way. So I have to look at the life of Jesus to understand what that way is. And we find that that way is intimacy with God, truly being about his will, doing his will in my life every day, and truly growing in the ways of love, sharing his love and life with those around me. Now again, that's the pathway. But in the world today, there's many pathways, many voices out there saying, hey, this is the way. All kinds of false idols like materialism. This is the way to achieve your ultimate destiny. Power, pleasure, success. There's all kinds of ways out there. But again, when the Lord said that I am the truth, the Lord's life is truth. He taught us objective truth. So his way that leads to life is the true way. That he's the way that brought us into the true passageway that brings us to eternal life. So in a way, the other ways that we listen to are basically lies. the deceptions. We're seduced and walk in ways that will lead to death. Again, in the scriptures, you'll always find there's two ways: the way that leads to life and the way that leads to death. And in the scripture, the Lord says the way that leads to life is not going to be easy. That relationship with God, doing His will and loving, that's not an easy journey. We're basically self-centered people. I want to take care of myself. I want to do my thing. I want to serve myself. I want to be self-centered. It's hard to break that way of life to be truly walking in the ways of Jesus. But the ways of Jesus is the truth. That's the way that's going to bring us eternal life. So these past weeks we've been hearing passages about the Lord saying that I'm the shepherd. My sheep hear my voice and they follow me. So today we ask the Lord to help us be attentive to His voice, to reflect on His life, because His life truly teaches us the way that will bring us home to eternal life. So may we as His sheep be followers that He will lead us to eternal life in His kingdom.